Hi, welcome for installing Windows 2008 Release to Enterprise Edition on virtual machine workstation version 10. Now we'll start with the purpose of the main course to install Windows Server 2008 Release to Enterprise. Then we're going to install Exchange as the second step, and the third step we're going to install ISA Server. So the first step, we're going to install and configure Windows 2008 Server. So to do that, after installing after installing virtual machine workstation version 10, we're going to create a new virtual machine. You have two options: typical or custom. Custom is for advanced users, so you know what plugins you need more to add with your using virtual machines, what kind of RAMs and kind of processors. Or the typical, which is most recommended, it will do what we need. Then after that, if you have a physical disk, so you can insert it into CD or DVD drive or Blu-ray, then you click this option. Or if you downloaded an ISO image file, you can download it on your disk or external drive. Then you check this option and go to browse. Then see where did you install that or downloaded that. It is here. Here I'm sure that I installed it here, but the virtual machine is looking for an ISO image of the disk, which is the common one, but there are so many different image formats. So let's choose all files here, and we're gonna find another image format, which is it's called IMG. There are other different type of images. Then we can click on next. Then you can either enter your product key to activate it, or you can use your 180 days evaluation version, which will be more than enough for our program or our lectures and course. Then you have to be specific which version of Windows you're gonna install. We are working on Windows 2008 Release to Enterprise Edition. Then you can type here your name, full name, whatever. This will be your some of your credential logins. I can leave this as is, and you can insert the password now or do it later. Let's do the password later, see how this will work. This is just a notification that you didn't enter the product key, so it's going to be working as evaluation period only. Here you can name your virtual machine. So since this is going to be our master virtual machine that we're going to clone and make copies out of it to start using it, so I'm going to name it clone dash Windows 2008 dash release 2 dash enterprise, and the location to be more specific, so I know how this the folder will be increasing, or how can I control the folder. So I'm gonna make it on drive C. I'm gonna create a folder called VMware. Okay, and inside that folder, this is gonna be another subfolder for the first folder of the first virtual machine, which is gonna be Win 2008, the cloning one. And then I click on next. It asks here for the maximum disk space. Although it is written here 4 gigs, but it will not reserve the entire 40 gig space, but it will extend and increase as long as you are installing features and installing programs and options. But it will not reserve the 40 gigs from the beginning. It will just keep increasing to the maximum of 40 gigs. So you can either increase this number or reduce it. I can leave it as is, no problem, because it will not reserve the entire 40 gig unless I use them. Then I click on next, and one of the main reasons that I created this folder, so I can measure how many gigs it's already had been used. So click on next to make sure it didn't reserve the 40 gigs. After that, I click on next. Here is just some following settings that I already choose. 2 gigs. If you want to increase the memory, you can customize the hardware here, increase the memory. It depends on your memory installed in your machines. Then I click on finish. Then I'm gonna wait until the entire process finish of the installation of Windows Server. For installing Windows servers, we will not interrupt any screen, and we will never see or receive any screen until the installation and the setup of the Windows 2008 Release 2 Enterprise is finished and completed. So I'm gonna pause or stop the recording until the first interaction window that prompts me to start interact with the screen. So we'll do nothing, and with the I'm gonna pause this video right now until the first interaction screen, then I will continue. Thank you. Now this is the first window that asks for to start with interaction with our virtual machine. So we need to make some changes here before we make this virtual machine our standard or master one that we're gonna clone and make copies out of it. First of all, we need to change the name of the computer. Here is the default, which is given by the Windows. It's called Win-CQ6PS and server. We're gonna change this name. For example, go to change here. We're gonna call it, for example, master, and this can just a minute. Sorry, it's not writing. Yes, master. Okay. This shows you because we're gonna need to know how to change the computer name after we clone the machines. This might require a restart, but we're not gonna restart right now. Okay, let's start later. Here we need to turn off the firewall. This is number one. So we go here and Windows Firewall and turn off Windows Firewall and turn on Windows Firewall, because of course in the production and the real life you don't have to turn it off, but here because we are using virtual machine, so you don't want to make anything that may interrupt us. Moreover, we need to enable the remote desktop, so we go on this one and allow remote desktop. Remote desktop exception will be enabled. Just a notification. Oops, sorry. Let's say okay. Okay. And what else? Then we should also, before that, we should also know how to share a folder. Now, if you went to start, go to administrative tools. Here, administrative tools, there is no DNS and there is no Active Directory. So this is a fresh copy of Windows. Okay. And if we went into the computer here, only drive C, there is no any other drives. So we might need other drives in order to know how we're gonna share folders, how we're gonna share read-only folders, how we're gonna read and write on some folders. And in order to make this, we can use our hosted machine, which the machine which installed already virtual machine on it, it's called the hosted one. We're gonna use it. We're gonna use some folders as a shared folders for our server here on our labs. We go here, right click on the machine itself, and if you want to change the name of the machine, you can either press on F2 so you can change the name, or you can right click, go to settings, and go to options. This is another way here. Here you can change the name of your virtual machine. Before we leave this part, we know how to share a folder. Shared folder is disabled. We're gonna make it always enabled, and we're gonna make it as a map network drive, and we're gonna pick which folders to be shared. So the first one will be, let's call it, let's choose this one, tempo. I created a folder so I can add anything within that folder. Next, I'm not gonna make it read only because I'm gonna use it to write on it as well. This is the first one, tempo. and I'm gonna use another one, which sometimes I'm gonna download some stuff on it, which is gonna be the downloads, I think. Yeah, okay, and click on next, finish. When you click on OK, see here, shared folder appeared. When you open this shared folder, you're gonna find the two folders you already shared. So this, our machine is ready to be cloned right now after we already enabled the remote access and turn it off the firewall. So now to prepare this, we need to go make something called Sysprep. To go to Sysprep, you need to go to Computer, Windows, C and Windows, System 32, sorry, System 32, System 32, and within System 32, you're gonna find the command Sysprep. Yes, this one. Double click on Sysprep, and after shutdown options, that after everything is done, the machine will shut down. You have here many options. We're gonna choose the default one. System audit mode, we're gonna talk about it later in how to customize the Sysprep. But the Sysprep will give you an example of how, click OK, machines will be ready to be cloned. This is well known, very well known, and so many companies, brands who already manufacture laptops and desktop to make Sysprep for their machines. We'll see now how the Sysprep had been created. Now, in order to clone this one, after the machine, now the machine is ready to be cloned under our required conditions and features. We right click on it, go to manage, then clone, then click on next. It says here the current state of the Windows, which is the current configuration. Here is a very important method. It says click a linked clone or a full clone. Full clone, it will take more space, yes. However, if you deleted this machine, it will not affect your cloned one. And this machine should be turned on to use it. And it has so many restrictions. So it's better to make a full clone. Okay, and it's fully independent of that one. And we're gonna put it on the same, we're gonna call it, for example, the first one SRV01, and it will be on the same directory that we created, VMware then we click on finish. Let's see here, you remember that now we have two machines with theoretically two machines with 40 gigs, which two machines of them should reserve 80 gig of the hard drive. Let's check now this folder, how megs does it have. Computer, what is my computer here? Programs, features, system. It's installing it. Let's see here on drive C. VMware, theoretically it should be 80 gigs. Go to properties. Just 6 gig it will, because two Windows, when you install the Windows, just the Windows Server, just the Windows Server files, it takes 2 to 3 gigs, and this is logic. So it's not, it didn't reserve the 40 gigs or the 80 gigs, just the installed files. Okay, so but it will expand as long as we add more. So this is the first machine, virtual machine we created. We're gonna create another virtual machine, another cloning one. Another clone here. So we're gonna create another 3 clonings. another one which is called SRV02, and these two machines is going to be for our labs, while the other two is going to be VAN-DC1 and VAN-EX1 for our Exchange lab. VM Ware. Since this will take some time with the same procedure, nothing new, so I'm gonna pause the video up till here until I finish cloning the 4 machines. Then we'll go back again. Thank you.